Peace and love, y'all. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Kiba, and today I'm going to be sharing my journey with day trading. I feel like day trading is just an amazing skill set to learn if moving abroad, traveling the world, or simply just having like more freedom in your day-to-day life is something that resonates with you. So we're gonna get into how this journey started. I am definitely mic'd up today because it's pouring down raining. Rainy season came a little bit early this year, but I'm not complaining because it was just hot as hell in Merida, Mexico, and the rain has come through and just cooled everything down. So I'm loving it. So hopefully my sound is good. But we're gonna get into this journey of day trading because for me it has been quite the journey. One of the most difficult yet rewarding things that I have ever learned how to do. So let's rewind back to how it all started. So I shared with you all in a previous video that I moved to Merida, Mexico in 2023. And my son, who is grown, at that time, he was not ready to move here with me. So after I was here for a year, he decided that he was ready to go ahead and move here as well. So my son got here in 2024, and when he got here, just being who he is, he was very, much thinking, okay, I have to figure out what I'm going to do so that I can make consistent money for myself while living here. And he was very adamant about learning how to day trade. This was something he had actually mentioned to me when we were still living in the States, but at the time, I just really didn't have the ear for it. Like, I'm somebody who was totally clueless when it came to trading, the stock market. Like, that was just a realm that I was not familiar with really at all. So when he got here, he just kept bringing up day trading, and he had even kind of taken like the route of trying to teach himself, like watching YouTube videos, joining different like discords and things like that. And I'm somebody who is really big on mentorship, like investing in business mentorship, personal development mentorship throughout my journey. These are things that help me really make quantum leaps as an entrepreneur. So once I was like, okay, seeing how serious my son was about wanting to learn this skill set, I decided that, I was going to invest in him going through a mentorship to learn how to day trade. And once I learned more about it, I was like, this is something that I need to know how to do as well. So we both went through an 8 month day trading mentorship, learning how to trade futures. And we started that journey in 2024. Now, this was what I was not at all prepared for, y'all. Like, my learning how to day trade ended up taking me on like just a spiritual awakening journey that I was just not at all prepared for. Day trading is such a spiritual skill set, and it's a spiritual skill set for many reasons, but for me, one of the main reasons why I say it's a spiritual skill set is because day trading will bring you face to face with your shadows, with the deepest parts of yourself, like nothing else I feel like can do. It will bring you face to face with parts of your inner being that you are just maybe not even aware of. Day trading is a skill set that is based 100% really for you to be consistently successful with it. It's a self mastery skill set. I feel like it is the financial reflection of your self mastery. That is what day trading is. And I graduated from Georgia State University with a degree in business economics. So I took a lot of accounting, finance, econ classes. I even took a pre-calculus class. And learning how to trade futures was harder than all of that shit combined. I have been an entrepreneur for 15 years. Man, listen, it nothing that I had experienced could prepare me for how difficult this journey was going to be. It was literally something that I'm like, I had to just keep showing up and putting my reps in. And I'm not a quitter, but day trading, like, oh, it kicks my ass up, down, and around town. Like, oh my God, like, it challenged me in a way, like, literally nothing else has ever challenged me in this way. But I knew that, I know nothing is coincidental, nothing happens by happenstance. So I knew that basically myself and my son got on this journey together when we did for a reason. And that was what kept me just grounded in knowing, okay, this is all going to pay off eventually. We got to just keep going. We got to just keep pushing. So I'm talking about y'all. Got my ass kicked. Y'all ever seen that SpongeBob episode where he's saying around town like that? It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I'm talking about taking losses, blowing accounts, like just the way it challenged my mental. It was just like something that I wasn't prepared for. And I think it was so shocking for me. Like it almost boggled my mind because I'm such a disciplined person. Like in my life, I've been plant-based for over 10 years. Very disciplined with what I eat and what I put in my body. Very disciplined with staying consistent with exercise. And I work out 5 times per week. Literally just got finished working out and was like, you know what, let me do this video real quick. Very disciplined with my sexual energy. Like have been intentionally celibate for years. Like very disciplined with, setting boundaries and just I'm very disciplined in all aspects of my life. And I say all that to say none of that shit translated over to being the discipline that you have to have when it comes to trading. So it was something that just challenged me in a way that I just could not have foreseen before this journey started. When it comes to day trading, like you literally have to change the way you think. You have to rewire your brain because to be successful at trading, you literally have to develop a whole different belief system. Like day trading goes against the way we are naturally kind of wired to think and be. For example, like learning to think in probabilities, also learning how to become a really good loser, and being totally detached to where when you win you don't internalize it, and when you lose you don't internalize it. Like day trading requires a level of detachment that nothing else in my life has really required that level of detachment. And I realized that, after getting just my ass kicked probably for like the first year I was in it, like it was just I would have some wins in there, but for the most part, I was just losing. Like I was just losing. And I literally had to just keep getting up and showing up for myself. But when I really started looking at it and thinking about it from a spiritual perspective, and when I started combining the elements, if you don't know this, I have been a life coach and spiritual mentor for melanated women for years. And so once I started combining all these elements and really looking at it through a spiritual lens, that was when it kind of started clicking and getting easier for me, especially with the mindset and psychology side of day trading. It's such a spiritual skill set because it literally mimics the same principles that we should be following in order to be our highest self, right? So patience, discipline, focus, non-attachment, like, and it took me really realizing that the rules of day trading are damn near like universal laws. Just like when it comes to universal laws, like you can't weasel your way around universal laws. They are what they are. And even if you are not knowledgeable or don't believe, so to speak, in universal laws, they're still impacting your life, right? So when it comes to the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of polarity, like these are universal laws. You can't change them. You can't weasel your way around them. You can't remix them. They are what they are. And I had to learn to look at the rules of trading in the same way. It's like you can't weasel your way around these rules. You can't force them to be something that they're not. Like you have to align yourself with them and you can't deviate away from them. And truth be told, when I first started like with learning how to day trade, I hated it. It was not an enjoyable journey for me at the beginning because it was like learning a whole different language. And for example, like my son, he naturally had more of an affinity for it. So he was able to pick up on it much faster than I was. But the technical side of trading, like learning about charts, candlestick analysis, multiple time frame analysis, all the different technical parts of trading, it was not enjoyable it was not enjoyable for me because I was so confused. It took so long before it started clicking together in my brain. Like I'm talking about, it took months and months before it started clicking together in my brain. So it was something that I was not enjoying when I first started, but I just kept showing up for myself. And, through me just continuously showing up and putting my reps in, it got to a point where once everything clicked, it's like riding a bike. Okay. The hardest part of learning it is over because I understand it now. Once it started clicking for me, I really started to enjoy the journey to where now I love trading. Like, I look forward to each rising, Monday through Thursday. Sometimes I trade on Fridays too. I'm looking forward to trading. And even now, it's like in my spare time, like this is what I'm like in a bubble right now. So where it's like this is what I spend my spare time doing, because trading is also, like I said, it's a self mastery skill set. So you have to constantly be doing things to sharpen your sword, to continuously work at it and get better, and going back and seeing where you made mistakes and things like that. So it's something that I really, really, really enjoy at this point. But when I first started, hated it. This is such a divine skill set for anybody who desires like that ultimate level of freedom in their lives, because day trading gives you financial freedom, it gives you time freedom, and it gives you location freedom. It's financial freedom because it's a boundaryless realm, meaning there's no limit on how much money you can make. It's also a boundaryless realm in the perspective that you can lose a lot of money too. And so day trading also, y'all, is not gambling. A lot of people think that, but no, there is a lot of strategy that goes into learning how to become a successful trader. Now, people that just jump in and do stuff and they haven't really learned the skill set, yeah, that is like gambling. But for those who really take the time to educate themselves and learn, no, it's a very, very strategic skill set. You're not just randomly doing stuff, right? But it gives you financial freedom, it gives you time freedom, because it is a skill set that literally, y'all, I have made and witnessed people make more money in the shortest amount of time that I've ever seen in my life. Like, you can literally make thousands upon thousands of dollars within seconds, sometimes within minutes, right? So you're not, for the most part. Now each day is different, but there are literally some days where I'm like, damn, I'm already done with my day. Like, I literally was able to take a trade within and be in and out of my trade within seconds. Right? Of course, it's other things that go into it. Like, I do an analysis, a top down analysis each day before I start my trading day. So I dedicate like 40 minutes to doing that. But it's like the time I'm actually in a trade, sometimes it's seconds, sometimes it's minutes, where it's like, wow, like literally I'm in and out, completely done with trading for the day in less than an hour, right? So it gives you time freedom and it gives you location freedom, because it's something that you can do from anywhere in the world. And I only trade futures, so I can't speak on day trading, forex, or options or stocks, because I only trade futures. But the futures market is like, you can trade different sessions, so you can make it work for whatever your schedule is. So me, I trade the New York session, but you can trade the Tokyo session. You can trade the London session. It's like you can literally trade futures like 23 hours a day. So it is something that it just gives you such a high level of freedom in your life. And what made me kind of be like, ooh, because at first I was only gonna invest in my son going through the mentorship. But what made me say, you know what? This is something that I need to learn how to do as well. It was this. I've been an entrepreneur now for a long time, and I know what it takes to start a business from scratch, to scale a business to, where you're making a high amount of revenue, enough revenue to where you can sustainably pay yourself, pay a team. I know what it takes to acquire customers and clients, what it takes to retain customers and clients. I know what it's like also when a business goes through seasons where it's like, wow, like, you know, say you have a certain demographic that you serve, and inflation and things like that start getting out of control, you will start to notice, okay, it's impacting my sales, right? What I loved about trading, and what made me say, yeah, I need to get into this, was that this is still entrepreneurship, but you don't have a product or a service. You don't have a customer or a client. It's just you and the charts. So it is a skill set that is solely dependent upon you. And it's just aligned with my personality type as well. Like, I'm just very much a lone wolf, truth be told. Like that's you know what I'm saying? It's perfect if you're an introvert. It's perfect if you like being with self, and that's just the way I'm wired. I'm definitely more of a lone wolf, like in my day-to-day life. So it was just something that aligned. It just checked every box where I was like, nothing actually makes more sense than me learning how to do this. And I will say that learning how to day trade is definitely not a get rich quick type of situation. I do know that on different social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you'll see people just showing you like insanely large amounts of money that they're making. But trust me, any day trader who is making like a crazy amount of money, you better believe they got a story of getting their ass kicked on the back end of that. It on average takes a person 2 to 5 years to become consistently profitable in a way where they can sustain themselves, where trading is just a skill set where you can totally live off of it. You don't have to do anything else. It's gonna always be some people who can pick it up. You have some people who may be able to pick it up within 6 months and become consistently profitable. It's always gonna be outliers, but on average, it does take a person 2 to 5 years to get consistent with it. And truth be told, the hardest thing to master is actually your mindset and psychology. The technical side of trading, like charts, candlesticks, all of that, like I said before, it's like riding a bike. Once you get that, it's like, okay, that all clicks together and starts to make sense. It's the way you have to master your emotions. It's the way you have to regulate your nervous system. It is the work that you have to continuously do within yourself. It is you being detached and not internalizing when you take losses, not internalizing when you make a lot of money. It's those things that really make it take a while for this to become a skill set that you can totally live off of. Like I said, it's a boundaryless realm. So it's no limit on how much money you can make. It's like you get to decide that. But it's also a realm where you can lose thousands of dollars within the blink of an eye. So you have to have balance, and all that ties into actually learning the skill set and having strategy, understanding things like risk management and all of that. But I just love the freedom of it. And I just love that it is literally something that anybody can do, any age. Like I'm telling y'all, like I already know the children, this next generation of children that's coming into my family, they gonna all know how to trade. This is something that anybody, no matter what your age is, actually one of the fastest growing demographics for day trading is people who are like getting close to retirement because they realize I'm gonna need to do something else. The retirement ain't gonna cut it. The retirement alone ain't gonna cut it. So this is something where it's like it's no limit on it. This is something that anybody who desires to can learn how to do this, and that is what I love about it. So yeah, for me, I would say in my experience, I am infinitely grateful. I have expressed so much love and gratitude to my son for just planting the seed and being adamant about it. And this is just a lesson too for me and for any parent who's watching this, that our children are our teachers as well. Our children come into this realm to teach us as well. They come into this realm to assist us in being better and higher versions of ourselves as well. Although, as parents, a lot of times it's us who, we're giving the guidance, the advice, and things like that. But our children do that for us too. And this is definitely something that I can. It's so many. My son has been one of my greatest teachers just in general, but this is just an example I can point out as it relates to day trading, that my son planted this seed, and I'm just so grateful that we got on this journey together, and that I know that no matter what, we both have a skill set where it's like nobody can take this skill set away, and this is something that we can do until it's no limit on it. You can do this forever. You know what I'm saying? For the whole time you're here having your human experience, you can trade. And with day trading futures, it's like it doesn't matter if the market is going up or down. Like we buying if the market is going up, we shorting if the market is going down. So it's like you have the opportunity to make money from the market no matter what way it's moving. And I just think it's just like it's so crazy to me. I feel like day trading is the closest you can get to actually having a money printer. That's how I feel. To where it's times where I'm trading where I'm just like, this is crazy that I'm literally just watching candlesticks move. And on the other side of this movement is literally thousands of dollars. Like just the whole, just the concept of that is just like, wow. I will say that on this journey, like, I've been on my spiritual journey for forever, have gone through countless dark nights of the soul, have gone through countless deaths and rebirths and all of that. And day trading definitely took me on a journey. And I had to do a lot of shadow work specifically around money. And that was something else that was shocking for me because, like I said before, I had already been an entrepreneur for a long time, had already had like a lot of success as an entrepreneur, made a lot of money as an entrepreneur. So I definitely have an abundant mindset. But like I said, trading brings you face to face with parts of yourself that maybe nothing else ever has brought you face to face to with that. And I was noticing certain patterns showing up in the way I was trading, and I'm just like, why am I doing this? And so I had to do some shadow work specifically around money, and definitely get into the root of a lot of very deep rooted lack and limitation, and just I would say limiting belief systems that just stem from certain things that happened in childhood for me as it related directly to money. So I had to do a lot of inner work to rewire my brain and rewire the way I think and change my belief system specifically to align certain things with trading, like regulating my nervous system, like follow like the way you got to be so in tune with your intuition as well when it comes to this. So it definitely did take me on a spiritual journey that I just did not foresee, but it has been one of the most rewarding journeys that I have been on. I will say that it was worth all of the frustration. It was worth getting my ass kicked up, down, and around town. It was worth all of the losses that I've taken. Um, and I just wanted to do this video today to plant the seed. If you desire to have more financial freedom, if you desire to have time freedom, location freedom, so you can move abroad, travel, or just do what the hell you want to do and have your way in this realm, I definitely feel like learning how to day trade is something that you should look into if you have never looked into it. If you're especially somebody like me who I ain't know nothing about trading. I ain't know nothing about it, but I'm just so grateful now to know how to do this and to have this skill set. And I just want to plant this seed for anybody who comes across this video. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed your time here, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all of those great things, and I will see you all in the next video.